first, Roberto, we've got a massive matchup on the ice tonight as the undefeated Jets take on the Leafs. And everyone is excited for this game, including our very own Jesse Pollock. Yeah. Whatever. Don't worry, we'll hear from the squid later on the show. Now, coming into the season, we thought the Jets would be in the mix for a playoff spot, but they're showing the league that they might just be elite. In their first 8 wins of the season, they've scored 4 or more goals 5 times. And they haven't allowed an opposing team to score 3 or more goals in a game. And scoring has been spread out, as 6 Jets have tallied 3 or more goals. And this stat is crazy, as 8 Jets are averaging a point a game. And if that's not enough good news if you're a Jets fan, it looks like Connor Hellebuyck is well on his way to a 3rd Vezina. The 31-year-old is a perfect 6-0 on the season, with a .940 save percentage and .166 goals against. Those are insane numbers. All in all, it's going to be a challenge for the Leafs, who had an up and down start to the season. Part of the problem is the power play, which should never be a problem when you have that much talent. The Buds are 3 for 30 with a man advantage this season, which surprisingly isn't last in the NHL, but still pretty poor. Toronto hasn't finished below 10th in power play percentage since 2020 and 2021, but it's going to take a big turnaround to keep that streak going. And sticking with the Leafs, they've re-signed Jake McCabe. The deal does have some deferred money in it, which lowers his cap hit to $4.51 million. Here's the thing, Leafs fans, I feel like we should be a little optimistic, only because whenever we expect them to fail, they usually don't. And when we expect them to win, they usually do, right? Am I wrong about this? Also, I feel like I gloated far too much in the game that I went to when they won handedly. So this losing streak might be on me. Sorry. Time now for Eminem's Huddle. Let's huddle with our home team and break down an absolutely wild Sunday in the NFL. And let's start with the craziest finish we've seen this season. The Commanders' Hail Mary comeback win over the Bears. And you probably saw this look at Tyreek Stevenson before the play, but this is just wild. Not only was he chirping the crowd, but he didn't realize the play had started. And guess who was the one who tipped the ball to Noah Brown? Yeah, that guy, Tyreek Stevenson. The Hail Mary capped an unreal game from Jaden Daniels, who thoroughly outplayed first overall pick Caleb Williams. And it wasn't even close. And let's stay in the DMV, because coming into Sunday, many were saying the Ravens were potentially the best team in the NFL. Then they ran into Jameis Winston, who before the game showed us why so many people love Jameis Winston.
Represent the names on your back, represents the names that's on your helmet. Well, we don't got no decal. So represent the Browns. All right, one play at a time. All right, together. All right, here we go. 7-0-3. 1, 2, 3, 7. Let's get it.
And he ripped it up once the game started, throwing for 334 yards and 3 touchdowns. Both season high for the Browns this year. He also scored more than 20 points for the first time this season, as they put up 29 in a huge upset over the Ravens. And after the game, Jameis kept the quotes coming.
Man, it's a white boy from Detroit that I really admire, named Eminem. He said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity lasts once in a lifetime. And I know I got a quote, Eminem, he from Detroit, he right up the road, but man, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that the Lord provided me with this opportunity. I'm grateful for my teammates, my coaches, and these amazing fans.
You know what, he didn't get the quote exactly right, but we get the gist of it, and I respect it. So with the loss, the Ravens fall to 2nd in the AFC North. But they could be back on top by the end of the night, because Week 8 concludes on TSN at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific, as the first place Steelers take on the Giants. Okay, with all the smack we talked with Jesse, it's only fair that with his Jets being the lone unbeaten team in hockey, at an unbelievable 8-0, that we have him on today for a victory lap. Especially since the Leafs likely end that run tonight. Jesse, thanks for joining us.
What's up, Richard? Let's go! It's game day!
Alright, relax. Okay, Jesse, even you, the optimist of optimists when it comes to the Jets, could not have seen this start coming.
You know, honestly, Rich, I can't exactly say that I'm surprised because the Jets are just so elite. But when any team goes 8-0, it's surprising. Especially if you look at the Jets roster. It's not like it's oozing across the board with skill, but I think Scott Arniel really has the players dialed in right now. This is a team that's also been together for the most part for a pretty long time. It's core. They know each other's players pretty well. They built tremendous chemistry. And I mean, the team is firing on all cylinders across the board right now. Connor Hellebuyck is playing some incredible hockey between the pipes. So, I don't know. The Jets are looking pretty good. The only thing is, we need to see them keep it up heading into the playoffs. And also, apparently the Leafs and Sabres, ironically enough, are the other teams that are tied for the best records to open the season with 10 wins. So, it would just feel so good to get that against the Leafs tonight. Even though it would be 9.
Realistically, though, when do you see the streak ending? It's not going to last forever.
There are some tough games on the schedule coming up. Playing the Lightning. Utah's looked pretty good this year. The Avalanche are on an absolute heater right now. And 82-0 is a little unrealistic. You never know. But whenever it happens, it'll happen and the Jets will move on. And that'll be that. But, The Jets are rolling right now. Just dominating.
Jesse Pollock, worst of luck tonight against the Leafs.
Risser, worst of luck to you too tonight, pal. Your team's looking a little desperate out there, so go Jets, go!
Yeah, I can't argue that. After a travel day yesterday, the World Series shifts to the Bronx tonight, as we have a crucial Game 3 on our hands. The huge news coming into tonight's game was the health of Shohei Ohtani. And according to manager Dave Roberts, it doesn't sound like he'll be missing any time with that shoulder injury. Now more bad news for the Yankees. They're coming into this one down 2-0. And in the history of MLB playoffs, when a team goes up 2-0 in a best of 7, they go on to win the series 83.7% of the time. So I certainly hope that you bet the Dodgers before the series started, but I mean the writing was on the wall. Come on. Now looking at the odds on FanDuel, the Yankees are slight favorites for tonight's game. But when looking at the series, the Dodgers are heavy favorites at -480. To the association, and get ready for me to say this a lot this season, but it's a tough one tonight for the Raptors, as they are hosting the Nuggets. And we're going to start with injuries, because tonight could be the first time we see RJ Barrett this season. He's been out since injuring his shoulder in the first game of the preseason, and he's listed as questionable for tonight. But it's unlikely we see IQ, who is doubtful with that knee injury. Oddly enough, though, the Raps are coming into this game with a better record than the Nuggets, thanks to that win Friday night against the depleted Philly team. Now let's get that small sample size alarm sounded right here, because yeah, it's only 2 games. But these numbers definitely jump off the page, as the Nuggets are the lowest scoring team in the NBA, with the worst field goal percentage and 6th worst 3-point percentage. And you can watch the Nuggets and Raps tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Oh, you know we had to talk about this one, because this is perhaps the worst statue in the history of statues, and we've seen some bad ones. And when Dwyane Wade saw it yesterday, he responded appropriately.
Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that. Who is that guy?
Now, obviously, the comparisons to the Ronaldo statue were the first ones to come out, which before this was arguably the worst statue of all time. I think this one might take the cake, although, no, thinking back to Ronaldo's, that was, that was something. That was something special. When something like this happens, we know the internet is going to bring the heat. Pun intended. Here are some of our favorites. Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union had a beautiful wedding. I love that one. They got Dwyane Wade looking like that one Mortal Kombat level. I love when they brought video games into this. Those are always my favorite. Doesn't make him look more like Dwyane Wade though, even though he's supposedly in action. I mean, it kind of does look like they've modeled that this might exactly be the model. This is a Morpheus statue. That's what this is. That's all for today. We'll see you back tomorrow at 3 Eastern. No Pacific. Have a good one.